Hello friends, welcome you all to another video, and today we are going to start Hamlet, which was written by William Shakespeare. And I don't think that I should give you more introduction about the William Shakespeare. We have seen him when I have dealt with the sonnets of William Shakespeare. So there is no need to give information about the Shakespeare, and I will also skip the background of Hamlet and let's start with the play because we don't have enough time and because your examination is going to start in this month and we have to complete the this Hamlet very as soon as possible. So very briefly I'm going to go and I will upload the brief summary of Hamlet on our Google Classroom, and you can download from it and you just start your study. So let's get started. So first we are going to talk about the characters of Hamlet. So the first character is obviously Hamlet, who is the main protagonist of this play, and is the hero of this play. So he is the Prince of Denmark, and he is 30 years old. And in the beginning of the play, we can see that Hamlet is the son of Queen Gertrude and late King Hamlet, and the nephew of the present king, Claudius. So Hamlet is a melancholy, bitter, and cynical, full of hatred for his uncle's scheming and disgust for his mother's sexuality. A reflective and thoughtful young man who has studied at the University of Wittenberg, Hamlet is often indecisive and hesitant, but at other times prone to rash and impulsive act. The second character, that is the Claudius, who is the uh, antagonist of this play, that is a villain, who is the uncle of Hamlet, and he is the present king of Denmark, Hamlet's uncle. And as I have told you that he is the play's antagonist. The villain of the play, Claudius, is a calculating, ambitious politician driven by his sexual appetites and his lust for power. He is occasionally shows sign of guilt and human feeling. His love for Gertrude, for instance, seems sincere. And the next character is Gertrude. So Gertrude is a mother of Hamlet, the queen of Denmark. Hamlet's mother, recently married to Claudius. Gertrude loves Hamlet deeply, but she is a shallow, weak woman who seeks affection and status more urgently than more rectitude or truth. Fourth character is Polonius. Polonius is the Lord Chamberlain of Claudius' court, a pompous, cunning old man, and Polonius is the father of Latus and Ophelia. Horatio is the next character. Horatio is a very close friend of Hamlet, and he studied with the Prince Hamlet at the university in Wittenberg. So Horatio is a lawyer and helpful to Hamlet throughout the play. And after Hamlet's death, Horatio remains alive to tell Hamlet's story. Next one is Ophelia, who is the love interest of Hamlet, Polonius' daughter, a beautiful young woman with whom Hamlet has been in love. Ophelia is a sweet and innocent young girl who obeys her father and her brother Latus. Dependent on men to tell her how to behave, she gives in to Polonius' schemes to spy on Hamlet. Even in her lapse into madness and death, she remains maidenly, singing songs about flowers and finally drowning in a river amid the flower garlands she had gathered. Next character is Latus, who is a brother of Ophelia and son of Polonius. So he is a young man who spent much of the play in France, passionate and quick to action. Latus is clearly a foil for reflective Hamlet. So Hamlet, how Hamlet should be? So he should be like a Latus. So that is the Latus is the another side of Hamlet, but Hamlet should be like that, but he is not like that. The next character is 14 Bars. He is the young prince of Norway whose father, the king who named Fortinbras, was killed by Hamlet's father, that is the old Hamlet. Now Fortinbras wishes to attack Denmark to avenge his father's honor, making him another foil for Prince Hamlet. Next character is the ghost of the old Hamlet. The spectre of Hamlet recently deceased father, the ghost, who claims to have been murdered by Claudius, calls upon Hamlet to avenge him. However, it is not entirely entertained whether the ghost is what it appears to be or whether it is something else. Hamlet speculates that the ghost might be a devil sent to deceive him and tempt him into murder. And the question of what the ghost is or where it comes from is never definitely resolved. Next character, these are the actually friends of Hamlet, but actually they are villains. That is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, two slightly bumbling courtiers, former friends of Hamlet from Wittenberg, who are summoned by Claudius and Gertrude to discover the cause of Hamlet's strange behavior. Next character is Osric, the foolish courtier who summons Hamlet to his duel with Lardus. Next character are Voltimand and Cornelius, courtiers whom Claudius sent to Norway to persuade the king to prevent Fortinbras from attacking. Next character are Marcius and Bernardo, the officers who first see the ghost walking the ramparts of Elsinore and who summon Horatio to witness it. Marcellus is present when Hamlet first encounters the ghost. Next character is Francisco, who is a soldier and guardsman at Elsinore. And the last character, that is Reinaldo. He is a Polonius servant who is sent to France by Polonius to check up and spy on Latus. So these are the character. I hope that you understood the character. If you have any kind of problem with it, you can ask me in the comment section or directly WhatsApp me. And be careful that there may be a question on the characters. So let's start with the summary of this play, and we are going to start with the Act 1 scene first, and we are going to finish this in today's lecture. And from tomorrow we are going to start with the two to three scenes. So we will finish this play as soon as possible. So if you talk about the setting of this play, it is about the dark night. It is about 12 o'clock in the night, and it is outside Elsinore Castle at the main gate of that castle in Denmark, that is the capital city, and the Raj Mahal of Hamlet. And which the characters which come on the stage and which characters are going to introduce. We can see the list of here. We can see that Francisco is there. After that, Marcius and Bernardo will come. Then Horatio will come, and at the end, the ghost of old Hamlet also come in this scene. So on a dark winter night outside Ilsmer Castle in Denmark, an officer named Bernardo comes to relieve the watchman Francisco. So Francisco was there, and he was really very frightened because in the previous night, from some nights, Francisco was seeing this old Hamlet, and he was very frightened because it is about 12 o'clock, and after 12 o'clock, the ghost of old Hamlet appears. So in the heavy darkness, the men cannot see each other. Okay, when Bernardo comes there to relieve Francisco, they cannot see each other, but they can only hear the footstep near him and cries, "Who is there?" And after both men ensure that the other is also watchman, they relax. There was a cold, tired, and apprehensive from his many hours of guarding the castle. Francisco thanks Bernardo and prefers to go home and go to bed. After when Bernardo was there alone, so after shortly, very after some moments or some second or some minutes, Bernardo is joined by Marcius, who is another watchman who is coming with him, and Horatio also comes with them, a friend of Prince Hamlet. So Bernardo and Marcius have urged Horatio to stand watch with them because they believe that they have something shocking to show him. In hushed tones, they discuss the apparition they have seen for the past 2 nights and which they now hope to show Horatio, the ghost of the recently deceased King Hamlet, which they claim has appeared before them on the castle ramparts in the late hours of the night. Horatio is skeptical, but then the ghost suddenly appears before the men and just as suddenly vanishes. Terrified, Horatio acknowledges that the spectre does indeed resemble the dead king of Denmark, that it even wears the armor King Hamlet wore when he battled against the armies of Norway, and the same frown he wore when he fought against the Poles. Horatio declares that the ghost must bring warning of impending misfortune for Denmark, perhaps in the form of military attack. He recounts the story of King Hamlet's conquest of certain lands once belonging to Norway, saying that Fortinbras, the young prince of Norway, now seeks to reconquer those fortified lands. The ghost materializes for a second time, and Horatio tries to speak to it. The ghost remains silent, however, and disappears again just as the cook crows at the first hint of dawn. Horatio suggests that they tell Prince Hamlet, the dead king's son, about the apparition, that is the ghost, He believes that though the ghost did not speak to him, if it is really the ghost of King Hamlet, it will not refuse to speak to his beloved son. So, hey guys, here the Act 1 scene first ends, and here we are going to stop. And tomorrow's lecture, we are going to see scene number 2, scene number 3, and scene number 4 at the same time. So, thank you for watching. See you in the next lecture. Goodbye.